Hey guys, welcome back to Confirm the Shop. Today we're doing a sporting goods review of the TiTrex suppressor from Precision Armament. Today's video is going to be about us covering shooting with the front cap, with us shooting with the K-brake. I'm also going to shoot the regular hyper tap from Precision Armament just to give it a baseline, as well as actually without one at all. We're just going to shoot it right off with no attachments, and then as well as attaching the Bravo by SilencerCo. So stay tuned, we have a bunch to cover today. Alright guys, so to start off, we're going to get a benchmark on this Savage AXIS II.270 Winchester. Now the dreaded part. We're going to shoot it without a break, just as itself. This is going to be absolutely fun. One round, because I really don't feel like wasting them with nothing. It's not fun. 270 Win, going down range right now. Alright. Yeah, that hyper tap does a lot. That's crazy, but we're going to be using the Precision Armament hyper tap. Let's get ourselves to it. Got 3 rounds in chamber, but we're only going to shoot 2. All right, hyper tap break going now. Cycling for the next. Alright, yeah, so definitely helped. The recoil reduction, definitely very helpful with that, with the hyper tap. Shooting this thing without a break is insane. Time for us to get on to the suppressor. Alright, here is our TiTrex suppressor by Precision Armament. This is an absolutely gorgeous box. I gotta say, I love the blue. I love how everything's raised on here. It's just a very, very nice presentation compared to a lot of other things in the market. Just something like this is such a small thing to pay attention to, but such a big thing, I believe, at least in a consumer standpoint. Like this just shows me you care, as opposed to just slap it in a box and send it. Pull off our sleeve here, just like a modern phone, and we're greeted with X-Core technology, exchangeable core technology. We'll get in that in a little bit. Endless repairability, endless upgradeability, and endless performance. Engineered to evolve. Exactly what it says. Precision Armament right here on the side. All right, so let's give it a nice open and get into the contents. Oh, look at that. It has a really, really nice magnetic snap to it. Just like a phone, like I said. So, pull it open. We're greeted by this TiTrex scanner register and other things that Precision Armament does offer. I'm not pitching any of that. Let's remove the protective cover and greeted by our suppressor, Dark TI. And as stated, this is a 360 cal, as you can see there. Open source 360, right there, 9mm. Even detailed right here, 9mm 360 cal TiTrex core. And look at that nice X band on here. So this is what sets this apart. Just what made me really want to get one of these is the X-Core technology they have on here basically makes it endlessly upgradable. With this technology on here, we can basically swap to any other suppressor that Precision offers without having to go through all that Form 4 bullcrap. Say you blow this up or God forbid anything else, you can just get a replacement on it. And look at that, we got our open source TI, this is a 5/8 24 thread. Giving ourselves a nice little unscrew in action here. There we go, look at that. So alright guys, we do have our TiTrex suppressor by Precision Armament on our rifle here. Like I said earlier, this is a 270 Savage AXIS II, obviously bolt action. We have a standard 5/8 by 24 thread. So we have our standard, what comes in this kit, a 5/8 by 24 open source direct thread mount to our suppressor. We're going to shoot first with our titanium front cap. This does not have a break. This is just a standard front cap as shown in the video. We're going to put 3 rounds through it and see what you guys think. Looking for my target, there we are. All right, here we go. Wow, that's hard to do. Well, that's a lot easier on yours, ain't it? And that's with the standard front cap. Well, it does still have quite a bit of kick. It does reduce it quite a bit still because we have a suppressor on here. But I wonder with the K-brake how much of a difference that is going to make. Obviously, we just did two previous shots. We did one without a brake, one with a standard hyper tap, now one with the suppressor attached. Now we're going to swap out the front cap, throw on the K-brake, and we'll see how that fares for us. Screw right on here, and that's what we have both of these wrenches for right here. Use both of these to grab onto the suppressor, one to grab onto your brake or your front cap, and then from there, and you're all good to go. But look at that. So now we have the K-brake installed, and we're going to see how much of a dramatic difference that it makes to go from having the front cap on there to switching to a brake on the front of our suppressor. Now, like I said, earlier in the video, we have a baseline for the recoil that we felt with nothing, the recoil we felt with a hyper tap, and now the recoil reduction of having the suppressor, and now the recoil reduction with the suppressor and the K-brake. Obviously, we're going to sacrifice some sort of decibel increase because we're throwing on a way for some extra pressure to get out the end of that barrel. But we're going to see how much of a difference that makes and how it fares on our shoulder. So, 3 rounds again, but I think this time I'm only going to fire 2. I don't think there's any reason to do 3, so actually, wha-bam, we don't need that, boy. Let's go, boys. Let's get some shots down range. So that really wasn't too bad, honestly. Put safety on real quick. I could definitely feel more of a recoil reduction. That didn't feel as violent as just with the front cap. 4 decibels, I think, is what is written down to increase it by. I think it's around 2 to 4. But to any of us, the difference between 35 and 39 isn't going to be anything crazy. But I can tell you in terms of reduction, it's definitely noticeable. So it makes me curious what the SilencerCo Bravo is going to end up doing. But I really love the way this feels. If I'm going to run this, I'd probably run this with a brake on the end of it at the sacrifice of 4 decibels. Let's get our next shot down, and I'll really be able to get another feel for it. Fired. Definitely a lot more noticeable, like I said. You could just feel it in your shoulder. I can tell you, shooting this thing without just any brake in general is next to near impossible. So the hyper tap really helped in the beginning, but I definitely noticed a difference adding on the suppressor. Definitely helps out, but adding that brake to the very, very end, it's that much. It's literally like that much better, and then also a hell of a lot more quiet. Anyways, let's get ourselves onto the SilencerCo Bravo and throw that on here and see how that fares. Alright guys, so we have the SilencerCo Bravo installed on the front of our TiTrex suppressor. As you know, we do have the open source front caps and we do have the open source direct mounts. So that being said, thing called open source, we can use other manufacturers' front caps. Instead of something being proprietary and taboo, some manufacturers do like to do that, we got something on here that maybe didn't necessarily need to be on it, because as we know, the K-brake is something manufactured, engineered to work with this TiTrex suppressor. So you have that nice reduction and recoil to the least amount of decibels added possible. I have no idea how this Bravo is going to be. Just to show you the inoperability, the ability to be able to use other manufacturers' products on this, I have it installed here. So I'm going to shoot 2 rounds through it, give you guys an idea of what that looks like, what that sounds like, because obviously recoil does definitely change. But taking the recoil like you guys see on camera with a grain of salt, because everyone holds the gun differently every single time. It's not really the best metric, but I can only kind of tell you based off of what I feel in my shoulder how that feels. So let's go. Let's see how it does. Like I said, I have a feeling that it's going to end up adding a lot more. I would say around 10 to 12 more decibels. As opposed to the K-Brakes 4. But I do feel like it will dramatically reduce the recoil because of the way that this is manufactured and the way it looks. But you have to pick that nice, happy medium. That I feel like this one does a little bit more extreme to the braking as opposed to the noise reduction. But let's see. All right. We're going to have to talk about this. Obviously, this does exceptionally well. I know if you compare it to the rest of the numbers on the market, I know it is, for its size and its capabilities by Pew Science, this is the best on the market. So, my head, no brainer. But all the other things we're going to discuss shortly, let's get into that. Let's go over logistics. Let's go over design. Let's go over everything else that there is about the TiTrex suppressor and what makes it something, at least that made me want to buy it. So why did I buy the TiTrex suppressor by Precision Armament? And I can tell you, without a doubt, the biggest reason I did was because of its exchangeability and its repairability. This is able to be exchanged for any caliber that you want, any color that you want, any variant that you want, at any time, if you paid obviously the exchange fee for it, but that's nowhere near the cost of buying one of these new. Okay, cool. Maybe you're never going to exchange it, but you're going out there and you're shooting, and oh boy, I accidentally clipped it. I broke it. You can exchange it and repair it, and you get something that is exactly what you had. It isn't being brought in, getting cut, welded, repaired, thrown back together, and you risk some other stuff happening down the road. You get another one of these factory reset in a box. That's what got me. It's like an insurance policy almost. At the same time, being able to say, you know what, I want to upgrade to the X-Core V4, in like 5 years. I don't know. Who knows where they're going to be. You know how fast everything accelerates. I mean, look at us in the past 7-8 years. Just how fast we've accelerated suppressor industry as a whole. Obviously, this technology is going to be upgraded and it's going to be expanded upon in the next 2-3 years. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to just take your X-Band and throw it onto a new variant because you want to upgrade? That's the reason I did it. Exchangeability and the upgradeability. I thought that was really cool, and it's just, bar none, it's a no-brainer, especially for someone like me. I don't do, a crap ton of it, so being able to keep up with the latest and greatest without having to fork out that full price tag for a new serial number for that new Form 4 every single time, absolute game changer, I would say, in my mind. What's really cool about this as well, it's very lightweight, very compact, and for its size, from Pew Science, I can link him down below, just so quiet, is bar none. So, also something that made sense. If you're shooting out here in the countryside, and you're trying to be quiet, you don't want to, make mom and pa down the street upset. You go out in the backyard and plinking some targets. This is a really, really good alternative to, making some people upset. What's very cool about what Precision Armament did was they allowed you to take hub mounts. This is a gas booster, so you can slap that on in here, and you can throw that right onto your pistol. And other, QD devices, another SilencerCo product, like that. Or say, I don't like the K-brake that comes with it. I want more recoil reduction. I'm going to throw on the SilencerCo Bravo. It accepts it. Look at that. And it actually kind of matches it because it's gray. I just shot it earlier in the video, and yeah, it made one hell of a difference for recoil at the same time, but at the same time it was louder. So Precision Armament does say that this has NURBS technology in it, and this is a non-uniform reconvergent baffle stack. That's for you to visit Pew Science. He has a very, very well detailed video just showcasing how this really stands in comparison to the rest of the market of things this size, for size and weight actually. So for me, what got me was the exchangeability and repairability, but what also edges it out is it also being superior in sound for its size. So you can't go wrong with that. The coolest part about all of this, and I think the thing that really gravitates to perhaps a lot of you, is going to be the fact that this is easily repairable and easily exchanged if you don't want this one, if you want a different color, if you want anything. It's just, there's no hoops, there's nothing. It's, let's do it. And what other manufacturer is doing something like this right now? And that's what made me gravitate towards it. So perhaps it's something that you will yourselves kind of, pique your interest or do a little more brainstorming on. Like I said, I'm happy it's up there with the quietest technology. All for me it had to be was in the top couple, and that other, being able to have this technology on here to swap this to any other X-Core technology suppressor by Precision Armament, bar none. But alright guys, appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.